Pete, ultimately a frustrating final day. What's your assessment of day 4, first of all?
Well, it's a long day of waiting, that's for sure. So, at one point we weren't sure we were going to get on at all. So, I think credit to the 2 umpires and to the groundsman actually, because they all the way through the game, I think they've worked hard to get us on as much as we can. They got us on a game with 36 overs to go, which was enough time. But we did know there was a chance of bad light and also a chance of another shower, so that came. And I suppose credit to the way Warwickshire played in the end to stop us getting over for the win. But most of the credit goes to the team, I think, and how we played, because we dominated the game from ball 1.
Yeah, what did you make of what the team were able to achieve in what was probably only a little over 2 days' play in the end?
Well, we played really well. There's no doubt about that. We came really with it's a tough place to come and play here at Edgbaston. So, we knew it was an important game. And it was a good toss to win, but we had to exploit the conditions. And I think Fergus O'Neill and Brett Hutton did that brilliantly. Great to see Fergus carry on his form. I think he's now lead wicket taker in the country, and deservedly so for how he's bowled. But it was also nice to see Brett Hutton. I thought Brett was back to his very best this game. So, a couple of seasons ago, he had this unbelievable season when he was lead wicket taker in the country at the end of the season, and he's sort of been fighting to get that form back. And I thought this game was one where he really looked like he got back to that level of form, challenging the batsman every ball, on it from ball 1. So that really bodes well for us moving forward.
Has that been product of the winter's work for Brett? Anything that's changed to get him back to where he was, maybe?
Well, he's certainly worked hard. He worked hard on his fitness actually, and his sort of general conditioning this winter. Hit the season well, and then was unlucky, picked up a niggle in Abu Dhabi when we were on pre-season tour, so that kept him out a little bit. He's had to come back, so I think last game was a bit getting back into it and finding his rhythm again. I think this game we saw him back. He found his rhythm probably halfway through his first spell, and from then on he never looked back. So that's something he'll want to retain. I think him and Fergus together look really challenging for anybody, really.
It says quite a lot about the depth of the bowling attack as well, I guess, to have performed so well in the past 3 games with bowlers missing for various reasons at various times.
Yeah, it looks a good attack actually. I mean, Brett's one of those bowlers a bit like Fergus, gives us good control in the game. With Josh Tong in there, was back in this game after being rested for the last one, gives us that little bit of X factor, that bit of pace. And Lyndon is your all-rounder, your seamers, and obviously Farhan's has found that ability really when he comes on to often get a wicket. He did it yesterday when he got Mousley out, and so yeah, it's a good attack. And we've got, you need depth in any squad, in any county squad, if you've got a challenge for the season. So yeah, it's calls on everybody. We got James Hayes in the squad here, pushing in for the first times, which is great to see. So exciting, because if somebody gets injured, often it creates opportunity for somebody else.
First innings runs were an area where we were looking to see more this year. So with that in mind, how satisfying is it to have seen hundreds in each of the first innings so far this season?
Well, they've all taken a similar shape in some ways. There's been one of the top 6, sometimes 2 has gone on. We've seen Lyndon, we've seen Kyle, Jack Haynes, and now Haas, all play significant hundreds. I thought the one in this game from Haseeb was one of the better hundreds I've seen for a long time. The ball was still doing a lot. He played beautifully. To carry a bat, I think it had not happened very often, I don't think, against Warwickshire. But to do it in the way he did it, when we scored over 350 and bat for that long, showed the quality of the innings. So he really shepherded everybody through, built some key partnerships, and that put us in a really dominant position.
Yeah, and that ability, I guess, to bat through those different phases, how did that impress you as well?
Yeah, well, you've got to keep starting. I thought they came out the second day, the second day of their innings, third day, bowled very well for the first 45 minutes, and him and Lyndon James did really well to get through it. And that really set us up for that day to create that significant lead. So, he left the ball well, took his scoring opportunities, and it meant we scored at a reasonable rate as well, because we scored our 90 odd overs, we got our 350, and we pushed on towards the end because we wanted to get ready to bowl, because we knew we had some weather around today.
Quick turnaround again, another consecutive game week, back home against Sussex on Friday. How do you look ahead to that game at the moment?
Well, it's another big game. They're no different. There's some good teams. Credit to Sussex, they've started really well in the First Division. I think we're probably level top between us. It's early days. We're going to have to play well. I think one of the things we've seen in this game was our absolute enthusiasm to do the work needed, and I think that's one thing we need to keep doing all season if we're going to be competitive. You know, you've got to get a group of players who want to get stuck in from day one all the way through the game, and it's rewarded us already. It rewarded us against Durham. It was late on day 4 when we actually got over the line there. And it probably rewarded us in a different way against Essex. We had to fight our way back from a really tough position, 78 for 5 on the first morning, to get into that. So we actually drew the game. So we're going to have to do the same, play some good cricket. We're going to need some batters to go on and get big scores again, as always. And at different times, different bowlers step up when needed.